Tifa here with Fit Bully TV. Go ahead and tell them your name.
I'm Marissa. I am Fit Bully Kennels Dallas on IG and My Dog Mom on TikTok.
Listen, she's a kennel partner of mine. She's new to the dog space. She's very caring when it comes to dogs. And she definitely cares where I care more at times. I'm a selfish son of a bitch, so I care more about my dog specifically. No disrespect to anybody else's dogs. I'm just, it's my thing. So I wanted to highlight her. You started a YouTube channel. Do you have a name for it?
Yes, it's My Dog's World on YouTube.
There you go. Once she gets 100 subscribers, she'll be able to customize that link. So you can type in YouTube / My Dog's World, unless it already exists, and then she's got to add some fucking numbers or some shit. So, at anywho, the American Bully. What about it do you like most?
I love how powerful and regal they are.
Oh, okay.
I do.
And what was your dog of choice prior?
Honestly, a shelter dog. And I'm not talking about like any specific breed, like just any type of shelter dog.
Yeah.
I used to love to want to rescue shelter dogs and rehabilitate them. And I actually did that the majority of my life until, I met you and partnered up with you. And then I really got to see for myself how much work shelter dogs need, only because, you don't know what triggers them. You don't know what they're coming from. If they had any trauma in their previous owner, I don't know. Unfortunately, we have that situation with our dog Storm. She's a 95-pound pit bull, and come to find out, she doesn't like puppies. So For us running a kennel, we have puppies here all the time, and it's very difficult to have to maneuver her and make sure she's taken care of, but also look out for the well-being of our dog. So she's going up to Kansas City this weekend, so we have to put her in a different place, but it'll be better for her, for sure.
Yeah, and that's not to say I love pit bulls. I come from that. She loves pit bulls. Yeah. Every now and then, though, at the end of the day, that dog in itself has a different tenacity and a very unique nature about it. So, if it is not developed correctly, it can lash out, and that dog's too powerful to lash out. And, specifically, that dog, unfortunately, put a tooth through a puppy's head, and the dog swelled up like Hitch. And then, she basically got into it with about every dog we had, just about here, even the big dogs, and most of them cannot defend themselves, which is the other part. And now, mind you, we're not interested. We don't fight any dogs, but just like any brawl, there are dog fights in your house. There are dog fights on most yards, and I've seen big kennels go through, and even dog trainers, walk you through how to manage and handle a dog fight, because unfortunately, in some cases, the nature of the dog takes over, and a dog's gonna be a dog. Just like if somebody stepped on your shoe or spit in your face or threw a drink in you. When it's on, and you've got to know how to manage yourself, and in this case, the other animals in this particular setting. So, getting into the dog space, I invited her into this thing because she showed a care and a consideration for my dogs. I asked her guy, Jamarcus, if I could stay here for a little bit. COVID, I think it fucked us all up, but I was like, yo, I'm not about to keep paying this rent. They have a nice home. And I come back every day. They were caring for my dogs in ways that I was like, yo, you ain't got to do that. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? They're like walking the dog every day. I was like, what y'all doing? And so like she said, then I was like, yo, do you know what this dog is worth or what the value of this opportunity is? And she began to see what my dogs could do. And then we have our guy Stan the dog man. And you see what his dog could do. You go, fuck, I want a dog that could do that. You want to be proud about the time and effort and even the energy you're putting in to this animal that's taking up real estate in your home. Now, yeah, there's love involved, but it's a lot easier to love your kids and your dogs when there's an exchange of energy. Now, your dog is going to love you regardless, but for those who are active and like to push themselves and compete, the best thing you could do for yourself when you have a dog that kind of can do some work or is a working dog is push some dog limit, which means you got to push your own. So, what's the number one thing you say you've learned in this very short but very long process of becoming a kennel partner and really getting into the breeding, the whelping, the managing of a puppy, which you've never done? What are some things you've learned going down this road?
For one, it's a lot of work. Because I come from a real estate background. In that background, all I had to know about was state laws, contracts, basically how it works, right? And with the dog world, I have to know breeding, nutrition, dog behavior, dog training, all these different things, whelping, pregnancy, insemination. Like, there's so many things that I have to know. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's hard at times because there's just so much information that you're trying to find out. And even then, like, the bully world is still up and coming, and, you know, we're working on revamping everything and putting health at the forefront, like, making that the priority. So it's just a lot. But coming into this, you know, I realized about myself is I knew nothing about dog behavior. You know, I was one of those dog owners that I just wanted to just take a dog in and love it and care for it and treat it like my child. But but I was quickly realized that, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a dog. You know, you still have to train him and make sure that he listens to you, you know, and you have to be the alpha. So I'm still learning dog behavior and adapting into that role as well.
It is an extensive process, people. I know some people get dogs, and, you know, the irony is not only does poor breeding lead to dogs in the shelter, but people who don't really know what a dog is. Best thing I heard a dog trainer say is, most people get a dog to do what they want to do, when in retrospect, you need to take your dog to do things that it wants to do. Imagine if you were someone who enjoyed whatever you enjoy and you never got to do it, and you only could do things that other people wanted to do. You would not be a happy person. And then you've got to cultivate the confidence and, you know, the desensitization of the dog as well, so that it doesn't become frantic in certain settings. So we're going to be hearing a lot more from her. Wanted to highlight and put some stuff out there because she's learned a lot about the raw feeding. She's learning about dog behavior. She's learning the importance of training and working with the dog, communicating with their dog, building a dog, believing in her dog, which really means you got to believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's a whole other thing as well. Being an alpha of your pack, per se, as you acquire pets, really means being a leader in your own life. And to be a great dog owner, let alone a great dog handler, you have to know who you are. It literally goes hand in hand. And those are things that we're working on diligently, so that because, I mean, this is her first, but it's not her last dog. Yeah. For damn sure not her last dog. So if you could give anybody any advice, wanting to potentially become a breeder, or interested or afraid or need to know, what would you tell them? And anything specific to dogs?
Definitely get a mentor first and foremost, because honestly, like, I had so many questions coming into this, and if it wasn't for Trevor, like, answering the questions and doing work on his end to make sure that we both reach that common goal of having the dog's health be, you know, first and foremost, first priority, you know, I would be lost. You know, there's hardly any information out there on YouTube that I can find about these kind of in-depth questions that I go and ask. And so it's just one of those things where if you're looking to get into breeding, definitely find a mentor who's actively breeding and breeding the correct way, meaning healthy dogs that, you know, aren't gonna be, you're not dragging them on the floor at shows or wheeling them in wagons because they can't breathe. You don't want that. You want healthy dogs. You want dogs that are gonna love you and work for you and want to work for you. And so definitely find a mentor, and then also just know who you are as far as if this is really what you want to do, because there's a lot that goes into it that, you know, people don't take that into consideration. So
it's exhausting.
Yeah, it's very exhausting. Like, I'm tired as shit right now.
Yeah, and I'm you know, I'm a press and play type of person. Then we go, but you know, part of even continuing to motivate and keep my team, if you would, inspired, is to be the person who leads by charge. And as she said, they're around when I'm making phone calls with some of the top breeders, having access to some of the better than average dogs, spending the money, doing the work. It is not an easy task. And, you know, this is a, 10, 15, 20-year plan that we have here, and a solid 5 just to really get started, even though we have a gang of dogs. So I appreciate her candor, and I know that she's interested in being the best she could be for her dog, and even helping you guys. I, too, looked for information, couldn't find it, so I had to go find me some new/old mentors and learn more from them that I, put it like this, I don't know everything, but I know a lot of shit. And there are some people who you'll see on this channel who are fucking like, they make me look like I don't know shit, and I know a lot of shit. So, but I pass that information right along, and a lot of times, they're sitting right there. And I put the people on speakerphone. I record a lot of conversations. I'm here to help anybody and all people who want to really take care of your dog. So she'll be doing nutritional stuff. At some point we'll get her into some behavior stuff where she's kind of showing you how to get your dog going and from start to finish where she started and how the dog's coming along. But again, wanted to put something out there so you guys can get familiar with her and what she's going to be doing and wish her luck.
Yeah.
T-Fit Fit Bully TV signing off. Do not forget to subscribe, people.